Okay, good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm so glad that all of you could join us tonight in the Zoom, as this is a very exclusive and I'll say special Zoom session with a very special guest. And personally met him to request a session so that we all can learn more about this new innovation called Oxytap, right? So before we start, I want to share this video about Oxytap so that for some of you who may not have heard about it or do not know much about it, just watch the video and have an idea about the topic that we are going to do tonight. And in the meantime, you can also type in the chat to let us know where you are zooming in from. Okay, so just watch this video.
Today, let's dive into something that's not just revolutionary, but could also be a game changer for our health, the Oxytap. Imagine a world where 3 shots from one machine could open up endless health possibilities. A whopping 60% of health issues we face, from the common cold to more severe diseases, stem from hypoxia, not getting enough oxygen. Now, why is oxygen so crucial? Our cells thrive on it. It's their version of a power snack. Without enough oxygen, our health starts to decline. Enter Oxytap. This nifty device is your personal health guard in the form of an oxygen supplement infuser. Light, compact, and proven effective, Oxytap has shown to make oxygen absorption in cells up to 10 times faster and 6 times higher in the liver. That's like giving your body a supercharge of pure, life-giving air. Oxytap works by using a patented dual pump system that sucks the water up through the nozzle into a fast-charged titanium oxygen generator, where the water molecules are split into oxygen, hydrogen, and a little ozone. With a water freshness level of 26.72 ppm, Oxytap delivers 3 shots of oxygen boost directly to your glass, and it's all done sustainably. 1. Refresh. Fresh water in a single shot. Get a quick 3-minute oxygen boost with Oxytap. Perfect for enhancing concentration and focus, tackling insomnia, as well as boosting energy. 2. Re-energize. In just 6 minutes, the Oxytap double shot infuses your water with over 30 ppm of dissolved oxygen. Perfect for addressing asthma, arthritis, eczema, or soothing hangovers. 3. Revitalize. A triple shot. Crafted to fortify your body's defenses, this medical-grade water offers a shield against potent adversaries. Perfect for cancer, diabetes, COVID-19, dementia. With Oxytap, you get to enjoy fresh, oxygen-infused water at its finest, offering not just health benefits but also a high quality of life, all without breaking the bank. Let's take a shot. Every sip is a step towards a healthier life. Oxytap, 1 machine, 3 shots, endless health possibilities. The world's first oxygen supplement infuser.
Okay, so I guess we must be very excited to learn more about Oxytap, the world's first regenerative oxygen supplement infuser. Okay, so I think we all know about trilogy of wellness in Thrive, whereby we have this concept of getting the ultimate human health, right? Through this trilogy, we are familiar with iTerra Care, which is your sunlight energy. We are also familiar with iTerra Bio and BioLight, which is good for your grounding. We just had a session last Wednesday. And now for the third part of the trilogy is oxygenation with Oxytap. So I would like to introduce this amazing gentleman, the inventor of Oxytap, who, well, through his amazing background, which I'm reading now his experiences. Let's take a look at this gentleman. He's none other than Wilson Tan. He invented this device, which we'll know more about it shortly. So his background, he has been a technologist in the high-tech industry for more than 30 years, from defense to environmental technologies. Also, as a water scientist in the last 10 years, he has been exploring on how to use 2 of nature's vital elements, which is oxygen and water, because these are important to enhance our health, wellness, and also a good lifestyle. He's currently now the CEO and founder of the world's first regenerative oxygen nutrition infuser, Oxytap. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to listen to this gentleman, Mr. Wilson Tan? Please put claps or hearts in the chats as we welcome Mr. Wilson Tan to share with us his invention and how it has impacted the world. Over to you, Mr. Wilson.
Hi everyone, good evening. Oh, God,
Okay.
clap. Thank you.
Wow, I see a lot of claps, huh?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Greetings everyone.
Okay.
Thanks Leanne for organizing this, and also May's team who is coming over.
About
Yeah.
water.
I think most of you would have heard one form or the other my presentation, either be it from the impact or seminar. And I actually tonight want to share more on maybe the flow of how you present the product, and why we are very different than any of other Prive's product, because we have very fast effects in terms of oxygenation, and also doctors are able to accept the things we share easier, because we can measure things. We can measure oxygen levels in water. We can measure oxygen in your blood oxygenation. Unlike some of the products out there in the market where they just talk about it, they show you a PowerPoint, but you can't really feel the difference. So let's say you are buying supplements, right? You're eating supplements. People ask you, does it work? Oh, maybe it makes me feel good, but I don't know. I'm just paying 300-400 every month for supplements, right? But for us, when you drink Oxytap, in 10 seconds, you can measure, and after drinking, your oxygen would increase. If your blood oxygen is very low, it will increase even more dramatically. So that is one key area which Oxytap is a differentiator from the rest of the other products in the world. Okay, so and today I want to share with you how we should flow in terms of the presentation. Okay, you can leave the questions later after the presentation. If you feel that you want to ask anything, we can go into those areas. Let me just share with you my PowerPoint. Can you see? Are you seeing the actual screen for the presentation?
Yes, it's good.
Okay. So we always start with what I'm trying to do is not to re-speak the presentation, but rather start by drawing people to the basis, right? Why oxygen is needed, right? We always go back to the 3 rules of human survivability. We all know that 3 weeks you cannot survive without food if you don't eat food, right? 3 days without water, right? And oxygen is 3 minutes. This is a fact. Everyone knows this. So everyone in the back of their mind, when you talk about oxygen and water, right, people know it's very important. But many of us are not taking enough of that, right? So this is where we start drawing customers into the so-called the excitement or the need. We have to draw a need. Why you need water and you need oxygen. So hydration and oxygenation are key to human health. Without it, that is the basis of human health. Without that, you cannot be healthy. You cannot take your supplements without these 2 elements. Okay. So we move, we had I was in a meeting or in a table where we were having lunch, and all these are strangers, right? And when you sit down and you talk about what you do, someone may say, I sell bicycle. Another may say I sell computer. But when you say, I sell a product which can increase hydration and oxygen in your body, everyone sits down and listen, because everyone is very concerned about personal health today, right? If you tell me I'm selling a bicycle, I'm not too interested. You're selling a computer, not too interested. But you say something which I can take today and improve my oxygenation, improve my health, prevent certain sicknesses and diseases. Those are things people will sit down or stand up and listen clearly. So those are key elements we want to draw people in. So the key things for human survivability is water and oxygenation. Food we get anywhere. And we all know the importance of water. I don't want to go through this. I'll run through quickly. If you have any other questions, subsequently, we will go deep down into it. But basically, I just want to run through the important points of my presentation, and then we see how it goes, okay? So oxygen is life, right? Water is important. Oxygen is life. And what is the measurement which is important? Blood oxygenation. Right? Blood oxygenation is the most basic indicator of human health. An oximeter is a very cheap device, but it gives you a very general feel of your health level. And this is worldwide, this is a known fact. Oximeter, your oxygen is low, your health is poor, period. Right? What can increase your oxygen level today? Can you take a supplement which increases your oxygenation? There isn't any in the world. Okay, we are the only world's first oxygen supplementation which you can drink within 10 seconds, we increase, right? So we draw people first from hydration and oxygenation, and then we bring people to the level where we talk about blood oxygen levels, right? And this chart gives you oximeter chart. 95% to 100%, this is normal blood oxygenation. Most of us would fall in this range. But if you are sick, you're old, you're weak, your oxygenation would be in the range of 91 to 95%. So this is concerning blood oxygen levels. When it drops to below 90%, that is low blood oxygen level. And of course, 80 to 85%, when low oxygen saturation, it begins to start affecting your brain. You always feel very tired, lethargic, sleepy, what have you. Your memory is not very good, get frequent headaches. And of course, by the time it goes to 67, this is very serious condition already, right? So everyone knows oximeter is the current way or standard to measure health. We can't escape, right? So this is a very good basis to draw people to understand what is a very quick way to monitor their health. And in Singapore, when we had the COVID, the government of Singapore issued every household an oximeter because to measure, because sometimes we don't even know what is our health level until when we measure and say, wow, our oxygen level has dropped to 80 something. Let's call the ambulance to pick us up, right? And now with COVID, it's not entirely gone. It's mutated to different flu viruses. And also, this is also a good indicator to check when you have flu, whether your oxygenation is also very low. Okay. So why we talk about oxygenation and that we are creating a need? Because blood oxygen is the way where people can see and understand immediately your existing health level, a very basic way of doing it. That's why we need to have a supplement to improve that. And then I go into...
Can you even say anything?
Yeah. So I go into the area where we talk about vitamin history, right? Because in history, we always know that there are many sicknesses and diseases, right, in the world today, where it's as simple as creating or taking a vitamin or a supplement and the disease go away, right? It took 1,000 years for mankind to understand that the human body gets sick in the absence of vital components such as vitamins, right? So for sailors, right, who have went on long distances without the need of fresh fruits and vegetables, right, they develop scurvy. Or people who have very bad diet, scurvy begin to take place, right? And scurvy at that time, people were dying from it. It was almost like an incurable disease, right? It's almost like cancer. People were dying from it. But later, a Dutch doctor actually discovered that by giving these patients fresh lemon juice, they recover from it. That's where vitamin C came about. And now we seldom hear of scurvy. So it's just by adding vitamin C in your diet, you're able to get rid of scurvy. And of course, vitamin D deficiency, we talk about the deficiency in vitamins, not exposed to the sun, people who are staying in those countries where they are very short sunlight and very long nights, right? Not exposed to the sun. And many of them got vitamin D deficiency issues, right? And these are some of the stuff which when you have vitamin D deficiency, you have brain issue, depression, respiratory, bone issue. And then that's where cod liver oil, when they discovered cod liver oil, it helped the vitamin D deficiency. And that actually improved a lot of people's condition. Okay. So I went even to tell people, look here, before vitamin C, people were dying. Before vitamin D, people were suffering. Today, 60% of the world's sicknesses and diseases, 60% of the world's sicknesses, chronic sicknesses and diseases, has its roots in low oxygen or hypoxia. What if today we have a technology, a supplement, which we can take naturally every day, like vitamin C or vitamin D? 60% of the chronic diseases would slowly go away from your body, just like scurvy, just like some of these vitamin D sicknesses and diseases, right? So this is my target. This is my hope that when people begin to take more oxygen supplementation, why the need for an oxygen supplement, or why people don't take it enough? It's because it's not in a form factor which is easy to take. Today, Oxytap is able to generate high oxygen supplementation into water as a means to just drink every day. Every time you take a shot of it, your blood oxygen goes up. That is how natural it is, because we need, like I showed you earlier, the three so-called three vital elements, right? Food, oxygen, and water, right? In one sip, we already handle two of the two vital components, water and oxygenation. And you just need to sip a few shots and your oxygenation goes up. Okay? So that is how, once you have a form factor which is very convenient, anyone can take it naturally, and you still need to take water anyway, oxygen and water gives you high oxygenation. And the hope is 60% of chronic sicknesses and diseases, things like cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, you name it, eczema, asthma, and all this stuff, gout, would naturally go away, right? Let me just show you the importance of oxygenation, right? So today, we talk about the elements of the human body, right? There's so many other elements inside a human body. When we take supplements, right? When we buy the supplements, we only handle maybe 20% of our body composition. If you say we take hydrogen, yeah, it's great. You can take hydrogen water, you can do whatever, but hydrogen is only 9.5% of our body composition. What is so important is oxygenation, which is made up of 65% of our body element. And yet, we don't have a supplementation or even think that oxygen is good enough. And we think that, oh, just by breathing the air, we will handle 65% of the oxygen. We don't need a supplement for that, which later I'll show you the slides to prove you otherwise, right? So what I'm telling you is, yes, supplements may be important. You need this, but among all these other supplements, oxygenation is 65%. Yes, you can say, I drink hydrogen water. It's great. Yeah, hydrogen has its benefits, but the main benefit, the foundation, is still oxygenation. And like I said, if you go to a hyperbaric chamber, it's infusing oxygen in your body. If you go to a hyperbaric chamber and it infuses hydrogen, it's basically an execution chamber. You'll die inside, right? So oxygen is still very key. When you go to an A&E, they always administer oxygenation to you first. They don't give you a hydrogen a gas for you to breathe. Right? So oxygen is very key in our body. So like I mentioned, when you say, oh, we can get enough oxygen from the air, right? Let me share with you our oxygenation levels in the world is dropping rapidly. Okay, this is from 1992 all the way to 2020. Okay, and now it's 2025, it's even lower. Just imagine your children, your grandchildren, in future, the oxygenation will be even lower. And what we don't realize it because we can't see it, our body begin to be stressed for the lack of oxygen, and then chronic diseases begin to form. Later, I'll show you some correlation between the formation of chronic diseases and oxygen levels. So bear in mind, oxygen levels is dropping. The world is not getting better, right? Because of modernization, it adds to this. Even studies have shown that there's declining oxygen levels in large cities worldwide. The very fact that you're staying in a city, you are already getting lesser oxygen, right? We all know COVID. COVID hit us, and the world was impacted by COVID. Okay, COVID hits your lung, it actually injures your lung, it scars your lung, and to recover, you need oxygen. And bear this in mind, right? Without oxygen, there is no healing. More oxygen, more healing. No oxygen, no healing. Less oxygen, less healing. So when your lungs is impacted by COVID, right, your lung intake of oxygen has reduced. And once your lung intake of oxygen has reduced, your healing is also slower. That gives rise to this thing called long COVID. Right? Why are people suffering from long COVID? It's because their lung has already been infected. It's already been scarred, right? And your oxygen intake dwindles, and then it actually manifests in different things, because all of us are biologically different, physiology and biologically different, right? So when low oxygen hits us, some may manifest in mental health issues, depression, anxiety, sleep problem. Some people may have nervous system issues, stroke. Stroke is very common for people who have taken vaccines and also undergoing so-called COVID. Recently, we had some of my people I know in their early 30s or mid 30s, they already passed away, and they call it, they don't even understand where heart failure, they just term it heart failure. Actually, it affects the heart, the nervous system, and stuff like that. Obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, gastrointestinal, skin disorder. People find that, wow, my skin suddenly become very bad. Why is it like that? Blood clots. Blood clots are very common. Okay. Fatigue, anemia, so more anemic related conditions. And this thing of chronic fatigue is something which hits a lot of people. By the way, I've been traveling very frequently. Every other month I'm traveling. So if you think you got fatigue, right? I should be having more fatigue, but I'm drinking Oxytap all the time. So the energy level is there, right? So when you travel a lot, you need oxygen, right? So joint pain, muscle, kidney failure, respiratory, and cardiovascular issues. So you said, okay, now I've not gotten COVID. I don't think COVID has affected me. But the very fact that you're aging, we have all these things happening to you. Because when you age, right? When you age, your oxygen levels drop. You get lesser oxygen as you age. Your cells absorb lesser and lesser oxygen. And then all these symptoms begin to manifest. You got stem cell exhaustion, osteoporosis, all the various things begin to break down. So when you die, right, we don't die of old age. Okay, we die for the lack of oxygen. This is a chart which shows you in your 20s, your absorption level is very high of oxygenation. As you age, 40 to 50 to 60 to 70, oxygen absorption drops even more. So finally, if you reach 80, right, you'll find that, hey, how come my immune system drops? So when you reach old age, you don't die of old age. The real term is they passed away because of the lack of oxygen, because their cells cannot absorb enough oxygen. They get infected and infected. Their immune system drop. It's almost like getting HIV. HIV, they don't die of HIV. They die because their immune system is very low, and then all the sicknesses and diseases affect them, right? So this is the same when you lack of oxygen in aging, you're gonna die by the low immunity. Okay. And we said, okay, I'm not old. How about the very young, right? Today, oxygen is also very needed at birth. When you have friends, families who or loved ones who are pregnant, they see the gynae always tell them folic acid, iron tablets, right, to build up their blood and to build up their immune system. But nobody ever give them oxygen supplement. Why? Right? If the baby is developing in the womb, it takes the nutrients from who? It takes the nutrients from the mother, right? So if the mother is low in oxygenation, the baby is low in oxygenation as well. Where is the mother getting the oxygenation? Or where's the baby getting oxygenation? And oxygen is very important for overall development. Okay, cellular development, the brain development, organ, heart. That's why sometimes when babies come up, they say, hey, you got a heart some of the valves are not formed properly, some of the brains are not formed properly, some of the lungs are not formed properly. Many of this has its roots in low oxygenation, right? So last Sunday, I was invited to one of my clients' daughter's 1-year-old birthday party. Okay, that client has been drinking Oxytap. When the wife was pregnant, he gave Oxytap to the wife every day during her pregnancy. When the wife, by the way, he didn't even give her folic acid or iron tablet. He only gave her Oxytap, right? And when the wife was at the delivery ward, they measured her oxygen level was 100%. It's very rare to have 100%. She measured was 100%. When the baby was developed, it's 100%. And last Sunday, I went to the birthday party. It was a very very well developed. In fact, she grows and matures much faster than her age. So I bought her, she's 1 year old, I bought her a 1 year and a 4 months old dress, and it's already too small for her. So what I'm saying is developmental progress is very fast if you give them enough oxygen. Okay. Of course, we all Asian believe eat bird's nest, all those other stuff. But how about the oxygen, right? So, like I said, oxygen is very important for developmental efforts, right? And we all know that our brain is one organ, right, which needs a lot of oxygen. 30 seconds without oxygen, you lose consciousness, right? 1 minute, our brain cells begin to die. 3 minutes, lasting brain damage may occur, right? 5 minutes, most will die, and 10 minutes, lasting brain damage. 15 minutes, there's no survival. So our brain is very important. So even though you try to survive, taking supplements and all that, if your brain is not getting oxygen, you would have an early onset of dementia. You will have Alzheimer's, right? Your nerve related, you have issues. So we also want to tell you that when you travel, oxygen is also depleted in your brain. Okay? And these are all research done by the US. On the left is full of oxygen. When you fly, your oxygen shrinks. Okay? I'm flying to Monday, I'm flying to Paris. I'll be there for 1 week. It's a 15-hour flight from Singapore to Paris. I want to oxygenate myself first before I go on flight, because I hope my brain will not be on the right side, right? It should be enough that when I reach Paris, I should be refreshed. Because when your oxygenation drop, you become very tired, you become very lethargic. That's why we have this thing called jet lag, right? So there are health issues related to air travel. So if you look at the chart, it's 97% before you take off, right? And when you take off, it drops to 93, 92, and it gets the lowest up to 91 or 90 when you're sleeping. So just imagine you're sleeping and you're on this 15-hour journey like I'm taking to Paris, right? I'm sleeping. My oxygen level for the next 8 to 10 hours, right? While I'm asleep, it's at 91 to 90%. That's excluding if I snore. If I snore, it's going to drop below 90. It's going to be 80 plus. So just imagine my oxygen is very low. By the time I land, I'm already very lethargic due to lack of oxygen. My oxygen slowly climbs, but during the period I'm sleeping, my oxygen is very low. Right? So that's where you get jet lag. Some people take days before they recover. So we want to find out people who do frequent flying, right, or prolonged sitting, it has high risk of blood clots. Right? And 5% of high-risk patients may experience a blood clot in a 12-hour flight. So I will advise you, if you fly, try to wear deep vein thrombosis socks. That's meant for blood flow, because most of the time, unless you're always flying first class and business class, right? If you're flying coach class, cattle class, or economy class like me, you need to have blood circulation, right? So you need to wear socks to actually promote blood flow. On top of that, increase your blood oxygenation, because more oxygen in your blood, it will prevent blood clots. So we want to find out, okay, those people who work in low oxygen environment. You say, are you sure hypoxia causes all this? We take a deep dive into people who are at risk in working in low oxygen environment for a long period of time. So like I mentioned earlier, when we fly, oxygen drop because of the pressure and all the stuff, right? Airline pilots and crew have a higher risk of cancer because they work in a very low, every day they have to fly, right? So the left side talks about general population. Pilots have a 2.03 times more chance of getting skin cancer. The cabin crew has a 2.12 chance, slightly higher than pilots, because they are moving around most of the time in low oxygen environment, while the pilots are seated most of the time. So the more you move around in low oxygen environment, you are being exposed to more, your opportunity where your normal cells will turn cancerous. Right. So this, by the way, is not my study. This is research which the different research groups have studied. And also flight attendants, right? Skin cancer go up 2.27 times more than regular. Non-melanoma skin cancer 4.09, and breast cancer 1.51. So it's very prevalent. Like I said, I know my nephew's mother-in-law is a ex crew member, a senior stewardess. She's in her 50s actually. She goes dancing, she goes aerobics, but and she's very slim, pretty, and she got breast cancer and passed away. Right? So what I'm saying, this risk is real. If you know people in the flight airline industry, please encourage them to get an Oxytap to drink. So you say, I don't travel much, right? But the very fact that you're sleeping, by the way, snoring doesn't only affect guys. Ladies also snore, sometimes louder than guys. Okay, so this is an issue, right? Sleep apnea. The left side is normal breathing. You have a hard palate and soft palate, right? The airflow is very clear. You can breathe. But then when you have sleep apnea, it actually blocks your airwaves. And sleep apnea is the cause. Once you start this, right, sleep apnea, the oxygenation is very low. And because of that low oxygenation, you get high blood pressure. Diabetes is the other thing. You have trouble concentrating, memory issue, depression. You notice all these symptoms is very similar across all the other things where it's linked to low oxygen. It repeats itself. COVID, you also got this. Sleep apnea also, you got this. Everything is linked to low oxygenation, and it manifests itself in all this type of condition. Heart failure, right? So dementia, anxiety, heart diseases, sexual problems, all these, remember, some of these issues are duplicated in the long COVID issues as well, right? Even asthma, later, if you know about asthma also have issues surrounding this. And it's all linked to oxygen levels. Stroke, loss of vision, kidney disease, bone loss. By the way, loss of vision, if you are diabetic or severe diabetes, right? High blood sugar, your vision also can be blurred. I have a customer who came and he listened to the presentation. After listening to the presentation, we offered him water to drink. And then in that 1 hour presentation, right, after that, he said, "Hey, very strange. Something is very strange. My vision is clearer." Then I didn't know he came with a blurred vision. And he said that I have very high blood sugar. My vision has been blurred for many, many months. Now I can see. So it's very interesting how oxygen, when you increase it in the body, it naturally, some of the things go away, right? So many a times we won't realize we snore, right? Do you know you snore? You always say, "No lah, where I snore?" Only your wife or your partner who sleep next to you know you snore, right? So if you have this thing to monitor, you notice your oxygen level is about 90 plus. When you snore, it drops down, the orange line, it goes down. Then after they go up, then you snore again, it drops down. Then it goes up, it snore again, it goes down. Just imagine the orange is your low oxygen level and it drops till about 83, 84%. You say, "Hey, every time I wake up, it's 97, very good. But you're sleeping 8 to 9 hours, right? In that type of condition, right? It's not good for you. You potentially will get stroke, you will get high blood pressure, you will get diabetes, right? And you can only track it if you have a gadget which actually monitors your oxygen level when you sleep, because you won't know, So we normally tell clients, right, before they sleep, drink Oxytap. Put a bottle of oxygen, Oxytap water next to you. When you sleep, drink it before you sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night to go toilet, just put it in your mouth. Just keep it in your mouth for a while because it's absorbed through the membrane. As you drink it, it gets absorbed all the way down to your tract. So it gives oxygen to your brain because the capillaries here goes up to your brain as well, right? So you just put it in your mouth and it gets absorbed into your bloodstream, right? Recently, there's a client about 2 weeks back, he came to the office because he saw the video we had, right? He says, "What interested me was that I saw the video you did in CES in the exhibition. You only gave a single shot of Oxytap. And by that single shot, you're able to increase the reporter, the one who's interviewing you, 2% of blood oxygen." He says he was amazed by that. That's why he came and see the product. If you realize we only just take a little shot, not even the whole bottle, just a little shot, the oxygen already in 10 seconds, right? So oxygenation is very important. So the other thing is asthma. When you talk about market, right? Where's your market? These are your market. People who snore, people who fly, people who are getting old, children who are growing. Those is a huge market, right? We are targeting a worldwide phenomenal market. Asthma itself is 300 million in the world, right? And you see all the symptoms: chest tightness, shortness of breath, night wheezing or coughing, dry cough, coughing attacks, right? So left is normal airwaves. In the middle, you see the inflammation actually so-called narrow the airwaves. And when you have the asthma attack due to allergen or any other thing, it constricts the airways and it literally feels like someone is choking you, right? So oxygen, when you drink, increases oxygen in your blood. When your blood flows through all this area which has inflammation, oxygen in the blood or high oxygen in the blood brings down inflammation. So it helps in asthmatic condition. We have many customers who were asthma, and after drinking it, it actually feels relief. They don't even need the Ventolin anymore. So like I shared with you, we cannot stop low oxygen. Tissue hypoxia, it's an ongoing thing in our body due to aging, due to stress, due to environment pollution, and due to the sicknesses and diseases in the world, right? You got no choice. It's just that it's part of life. But we can fight this with a supplement. And Oxytap is the only oxygen supplement in the world where you can make it fresh at home and you can just take a shot like this every other hour, or every time you feel the need of having oxygen, just take a sip and oxygen goes up. in your body, right? And of course, these are all symptoms of hypoxia, restlessness, headache, confusion, rapid heart rate, rapid breathing, anxiety, difficulty in breathing. I always take this and I share with corporates, Just imagine you go to an office. The office is already cramped because in Singapore, the rentals is very expensive. So the boss will always cram many staff in the office. And because everyone is crammed in the office, oxygen also drop, right? And when oxygen drop, right, you will get hypoxia and you'll be restless. You always get headache, always want to go for a break, take a smoke. You're always confused how to finish your project like that. So your work productivity is very low. So what I recommend is I tell the boss, hey, you buy one, put in your pantry. Then every time people make the water or need to fill up water, you just let them oxygenate. And then they will not be restless. They will not have headache. They will not be confused. So your project can be completed on time, right? It improves productivity. By the way, I have a JB. In JB, I have one of the Malaysia listed factory, big factory listed in the last 3 years. The chairman bought 7 units for me for the manufacturing production area because she wants the staff to be healthy so that the production can be efficient. That is a very forward-thinking boss. If you got a very cheapskate boss, you want to stinge, in the end, the productivity of the company lose, and you lose money out of that, right? So we have to sell into corporates. We cannot think we're only selling to individual, one-to-one, some auntie or uncle. No, we have to talk to CEOs. We have to talk to hotel owners, business owners. We have to bring one up. Don't always look at your neighbor or whatever. Look higher, bigger, because it can help them improve productivity, right? And productivity equals cost saving equals more money. So many of you say, why we need oxygen, right? In every cell, we have this thing called mitochondria. Okay, so you want to explain, we explain it in the form that every cell has this engine called mitochondria, and the mitochondria needs glucose and oxygen to generate energy. When you say I have low energy, basically it means that I either don't have enough glucose or either I don't have enough oxygen. That's why I got low energy. And how that happens is because you may be sick, weak, or old, then you cannot get enough oxygen. So like I mentioned, you don't have enough oxygen, your glucose will get anywhere. You eat your nasi lemak, you will have your glucose. You take sweet, you have glucose. You take anything, you have glucose. But oxygen, by the very fact that I mentioned all those situations, right, you have low oxygen. So low oxygen with glucose give you low energy. So ATP is energy lah. So low oxygen, which is hypoxia, gives you 2 ATP. Glucose you will have in your blood. So in the end, you get a lot of glucose. You don't have enough oxygen to so-called neutralize the glucose. That sugar makes you high blood sugar in your bloodstream, right? So if you have enough oxygen, it's 32 ATP. So that is your energy level. I have enough oxygen, my energy level is 32. If that day I'm sick, it drops down to 2 ATP because my oxygen is very low. So if I want to increase oxygen, what do? There's no supplement out there in the market today. I cannot put bird's nest and I go. Bird's nest give you more glucose. But where's your oxygen? I add Oxytap to glucose, it will give me 32 ATP. So ATP is energy. And you say energy is just for me to run around. No, energy is very important because energy, it's very needed for many functions, right? Cells need the energy for carrying out many functions. One of its major function is to carry out normal cell function. So carrying out normal cell function, now we think it's a very simple word, but this is one of the most important, normal cell function, because if it's not normal cell function, it becomes abnormal cell function, which is cancerous, which is a cell mutation, which today medical science may not have a cure for it, right? One of which, by the way, cancer, it's been around for so many years and it's mutating for different forms of cancer, right? Because of environmental, because of whatever pollutions out there, whatever we're eating, is in our bloodstream is becoming abnormal, right? And also now we hear of many autoimmune diseases. Now you say, wow, autoimmune. The doctor has no clue what is autoimmune. Basically, it's not functioning well, right? So autoimmune is one way to tell you, I got no clue, your cell is functioning, misfunctioning, so we only give you steroid or give you some things which try to fight that. The other thing is muscular dystrophy, right? The muscular muscles are shrinking. And like I said, I know personally 4 to 5 people around me who are suffering from muscular dystrophy. Young ladies just got married, just given birth, suffered muscular dystrophy, 30 plus only. Now, 1 year down the road, 1.5 years down, she's in wheelchair. And she can't even talk. She has to have a computer which she needs to type with her mouth. This is all abnormal cell function. Today, medical science can't handle a quite. So ATP is very important. Why ATP is important and how you get high ATP is through oxygen. And high ATP allows you to repair cell after injury. If you are very low in ATP, people who are very severe diabetic, they hit themselves, knock their leg and bruise. That bruise will tear. It will form diabetic foot ulcer. And the diabetic foot ulcer will not close up, right? It will just keep on getting bigger. Finally, your feet turns black and the tissue begin to die and it goes upwards. And then finally, the doctor would have to measure where the cell is dying and amputate your feet. And unfortunately, Singapore is one of the largest diabetic foot amputee in the world, right? Maybe our foot is too good. Okay, so keep the cell young and alive. Today, there's a huge market on stem cell. People want to reverse aging. People talk about longevity, and stuff like that. Without oxygen, no point talking about stem cell, longevity, and all those stuff. You need oxygen to keep the cell young and alive. Many a times, without the oxygen, our cell do not have the energy to even absorb the medication you're taking. For example, I have many clients like this. Before Oxytap, right, they are taking a lot of tablets, medication for lowering blood sugar, but it doesn't change their blood sugar level. Every month they go to see doctor. Doctor say, hey, your blood sugar didn't go down. Add more medication, add more medication. Every month his medication cannot increase. Finally, when he took 1 bottle of Oxytap, immediately his blood sugar from 14 dropped to 6. He had never seen this number before and he was shocked. He said, how can this, just drinking this water, it helps? It actually, when he drinks it, the oxygen goes into the cell. It enables the cell to absorb the medication even better. That's why it's able to function. So many of us say, I'm buying a lot of supplements already. Why I need another oxygen supplement? The very fact that you need Oxytap is that it enables your cell to have the energy to absorb the supplement or the medication. And many of our diabetic clients who buy our product, within half a year, their medication has been cut down to half its original level. And of course, we don't tell customer to cut. The doctor who monitors them regularly would do the adjustment of the medication to suit their condition. Okay, so that's why ATP or energy is needed to keep the cell young and alive to be able to absorb medication. And it's also to fight infection. Okay, like I said earlier, the older you are, right, you don't your cell don't absorb the oxygen, you lose the ability to fight infection. Any infection comes, you get sick. So that's why people who are undergoing chemotherapy, basically it's poison, it affects your body, and then you become very low in immunity. So everywhere they go, they wear masks. And you don't want to go to near someone who is undergoing chemotherapy, because if you have flu, you pass to them, it's very dangerous, right? So that's why they always stay away from people. Okay, so they lose the ability to fight infection if you don't have ATP or high energy. And also high energy is needed to prevent and to remove cancer cells. And you say, are you sure this is true, right? It's not me who said it. This is a Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Otto Warburg, which basically say that cells can turn cancerous if deprived of oxygen for a long period of time. And all normal cells have a requirement for oxygen, but cancer cells can live without oxygen. This is a rule without exception. Okay, and if you deprive a cell of 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours, it may turn cancerous. So what does it mean? It means that normal cell requires oxygen. Cancer cell live or can thrive in a low oxygen or no oxygen environment. So when you basically have cancer, your cancer form is in the organs or the part of your organ where it's the lowest oxygen. Right? If your lung, let's say you've been smoking regularly, your lung is very deprived of oxygen, it will form from that part where it's the lowest part, lowest oxygen nearby, and the cancer will begin to spread from there. Right? But if you are able, so when you already have that case, right, your cell is already very weak because there's not enough oxygen, right? But the doctor say, hey, you need to go for chemotherapy. You need to have 6 sessions of chemotherapy. But when you go for chemotherapy, like I said, is poison, it's targeted, it kills everything in its path, including healthy cells. But your healthy cells is already very weak because it's low oxygen, it's not strong, right? So the chemo will kill everything, including your cancer cells. But based on what Dr. Otto Warburg say, cancer cells can live without oxygen, which means you're already very low oxygen. The cancer cells survive or can withstand the chemotherapy so well because it's low oxygen. And then you die from the treatment rather than the cancer. But today, if you are able to increase oxygen back into your body, right, you drink it regularly, you increase oxygenation in your body, your weak cells will be stronger, right? So much so that when you go for any TCM or whatever modalities of treatment you want to go through, it would be better for you. Your survivability, your weak cells become stronger. It's able to withstand the chemotherapy, and the chemotherapy then target the cancer cell, and the cancer cell is weaker because of the oxygen environment, right? So chemo would do its work better than without oxygen. That's why now in medical science, a lot are looking into hyperbaric oxygen treatment as a form of treatment with chemotherapy. Okay, we haven't reached that stage yet because we did not want to go to the medical route yet, right? But who knows? We may do that in the next couple of years when we come up with a medical related product. Currently, this one is a consumer product, right? We want to take that same science, same result we get from that, and possibly build a medical related product. Because my whole goal in doing Oxytap is we want to heal the world, right? And I know oxygen can do a lot of things in our body, which is good for us. So there is only the current way to increase tissue oxygen today is hyperbaric oxygen chamber, right? You put this in a pressurized chamber, and if you go and research on this, you'll find also many people die in this space because it's pressurized, pure oxygen. So if either the negligence of the doctor or the nurse, you may die inside the chamber. Those you go to the beauty spa and all that, it's not this quality. That one is minimal benefits. Those are like blow up doors and you stay inside there. This is glass. This one you need a medical certification because it is highly flammable. It may explode because of the oxygen gas is inside, right? So if you are going for proper oxygen therapy, go for such, not those blow up stuff in the beauty salons or spa or whatever. Those don't do anything for you. But even in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, we have seen some data, even if you go in very most, if you measure their blood oxygen, the best case scenario, 1% increase. You know, ours within 10 seconds, it can jump from 2 to 8% increase depending on how low your blood oxygen. So we are far more superior and far more convenient than a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, right? So that's why we are trying to explore how we can work with more doctors this year to explore this space, you know. And you can, I mean, if you, there are some outlets in KL, Bangsa, when you talk about reverse aging, anti-aging, this time clinics, right? Any in that space, they all know about this. If you're able to sell into these clinics, get the doctors involved in the sale, right? We are far more superior than this because it's the frequency you drink Oxytap. It's more than you can go into this chamber. And this one is high oxygenation. You may get oxygen toxicity, right? From this. So it's lack of portability, inability to maintain O2 levels, oxygen levels outside the chamber. If you enter the chamber, you're low oxygen, you enter the chamber, your oxygenation go up. You step out of the chamber, you walk to the door, it drops back to normal. For us, Oxytap, we drink it, the oxygen level go up. Of course, not as high pressurized chamber, but it's the elevated oxygenation and the frequency of keeping it elevated, which will impact your cellular health and energy. Okay, so potentially you may have barotrauma, oxygen toxicity from superoxygenation if you drew H-board. By the way, this slide here is taken from private research. This is not a published article, right? This is taken from some Korean private research. We've measured when you drink oxygen water, it's absorbed 10 times faster in your cell than breathing. Because like I told you, your lung is affected by COVID and all that, your absorption is slower. But once you start drinking, all the capillaries through your membrane starts to absorb the oxygen all the way down. That's why we can show it increasing in 10 seconds just by measuring your blood oxygen. That one is a fact, right? That one you cannot. They say, are you FDA certified? No, we are not FDA certified. But I can take a FDA certified blood oxygen meter. I can measure tissue increase in your bloodstream in 10 seconds. Right? So why, if you go to clinical route, it's because you are not sure whether can go or cannot go. Ours, we can show you. That's why we do in events, we show people you drink and it increases. 6 times higher absorption in the liver than breathing. So this we all know. Oxygen is low already in the environment. As we age, when we're sick, oxygen is low. Where do we get oxygen? Even drinking water has low oxygen. So this is another test we normally do. We always point back to fresh water. Fresh water has this thing of 8 to 20 parts per million of oxygen. That means the concentration of oxygen in the water. To qualify fresh water, right, it must be in the area of 8 to 20 ppm, mole oxygen. And how they get, fresh water gets that, it's cold, it's in the stream, it's in nature, it's exposed to air, it's exposed to photosynthesis by plants, and all this oxygen is concentrated in the water. Okay, that's why it's fresh. That's why it has its benefits. But today, we don't have that. Today, how many of you have a stream next to you which you drink? Sometimes you drink also, you're scared what type of quality the water is, right? So we think we go to Giant, Cold Storage, or Aeon to buy better. But if you go and buy, which is the freshest? Shelf life is 2 years. When you start bottling, oxygen starts to leave. That's why none in the world is fresh. Today, you can go to the shelf and you look at all the bottles, nobody puts the word fresh water. Fresh bottled water. Nobody use the word fresh. Because oxygen is oxygen denotes the freshness, and many of the water industry know that they are very low in oxygen, right? So dissolved oxygen leaves the bottle once you bottle it from source. This is including now the popular, even MLM are selling bottled oxygen water. So if you in Malaysia, I also hear of many different brands, some of the customers send to me, hey, what, this brand got oxygen or not? I say, no, all these are very low in oxygen. The longer you keep it, because like I said, it's 2 years from date of manufacture, the longer you keep it, the lesser oxygen is going to be in the water. After 8 to 12 months, the oxygen in the bottled water is less than tap water. So low dissolved oxygen in the water make the water unhealthy and stale. So as a reference point, right, we always do this. 8 to 20 natural water, spring water, Evian from France, all that is around 9. When you bottle it, you ship it to Malaysia, it drops to 7. And the longer you keep, it drops to 6.5 to sometimes 5 plus. But tap water, when we turn on the tap, it comes to about 6.5, right? So I told you fresh water is 8 to 20, but many of us, tap water is 6.5 to maximum 7. But 80% of our homes, especially in Malaysia, or 90% has a filter. When you go through a filter, the better your filter is, the lesser oxygen it's going to have. So you'll be about 2.5. So a lot of officers also drink from filtered water. Filtered water is also low. So if you want to go and sell in offices, you bring a dissolved oxygen meter and you talk to them, people will know that there's a quality issue, right? So this is very important. Oxytap, we take all this water and one shot, it goes up to 25, double shot, it goes to 30, triple shot, it goes to 35 and above. Again, temperature plays an important role. The colder it is, the more concentrated the oxygen level is. So when I say this number is a range, don't take this literally. Somebody say, oh, how come I only got 20? Because your temperature there is very hot. But you chill it, the oxygenate, it's going to be higher than all of this, right? So don't forget, the oxygen meter we measure has certain parameters. Okay, it could be colder temperature. Sometimes in the aircon room, it's higher concentration. At home in the kitchen, because you're cooking, it is warm, the oxygen level is lower, right? So we have this thing called dissolved oxygen meter, and you are serious into selling Oxytap, you should at least have one of these to prove to people that the water quality they are drinking. People are very concerned about health, right? They don't mind paying a bit more for something healthy, right? So if you are able to convince them that low oxygen is no good for you, it's not healthy, even no matter how much you pay for an expensive brand, right? It's not going to be healthy, right? I can measure to show you. Even you bring this to the office, you say, hey, you got filter like Huawei, Cuckoo, let me measure. It's going to be 2 point something, 3 point something. And I can now increase your productivity by putting Oxytap there. And after your Cuckoo or Huawei, you oxygenate, now see the amount of oxygen. And people know in their mind, they all know oxygen is good for you. And then when my staff drink oxygen, it's going to increase their concentration, their performance, and overall productivity is going to increase, right? So I just show you, Evian is about 7.4, Fiji 7.7, Volvic about 8. And all this is, I think, fresh from the supermarket, and I immediately measure them. Dasani is 7, and here we do a single shot of Oxytap, it goes up to 26.7. Okay, so generally, you bring this out in the chart. So if you're targeting F&B market, right? F&B market is about freshness, and now a lot of new cafes are sprouting out, selling premium healthy products. They're saying organic eggs lah, they are taking gluten-free bread lah, they organic vegetables, free-range chicken, organic eggs, and all those stuff, and they're selling double the price. But water, how are you going to improve your water? By selling more expensive bottle brands? No. Oxygen is the key thing which denotes. They can buy a cheap brand, but with Oxytap, they can sell a premium water product which is healthy for their clients. So we need to remove our way of thinking to selling to individual. We must turn to corporate, we must turn to businesses, because our product can fit, Oxytap can fit in those environments. We are not like a iTerra Care where you show and you cannot convince them to sell in a office, for example, or use in the office. Oxytap you can use in the office. And I can tell you, once you sell and put it in the office, people start to get benefit from it. You will get repeat sales from the same office pantry. So we have sold into companies, and one company particularly, I get 6 different orders from the same company. 6 people bought our product because some lost weight, 5 kg in 3 weeks, some blood sugar drop, cancer marker reduce, and stuff like that. Sleep quality. So sleep quality is one very important element senior executives would see the benefit. I have one of the top government-linked CEOs. The machine was given to him, so he got no clue what he's doing. Someone just say, hey, this product is very good. I give it to you. You go drink it. So the next day I called him. I said, hey, what you drank the product? How do you feel? He said, Wilson, I don't know. I never slept so well before in my life. CEOs are very stressed, right? You always think of many things, right? But when you drink oxygen, some of them can say, I even can dream now. So you're able to enter into a deep sleep with oxygenation, right? So CEOs need that to keep them fresh. So what we are doing, we are solving an oxygen crisis with Oxytap supplement, right? We are able to refresh in one shot. Double shot, we are able to re-energize, which means you get higher level oxygen. Triple shot is for those who are very sick. Like I told you, 60% of chronic diseases in the world is linked to low oxygen. Those people suffering from that, you should give them 3 shots and let them drink. Okay, so we are the world's first technology which fast generates in 3 minutes of operation. So in future, there may be cheaper products which is coming in. We use platinum and titanium alloy for our oxygen generation. Okay, platinum and titanium has a market value. That's why there is a price, there is a loading on the price. We cannot lower. If a product is coming out and it's cheaper than us tremendously, which means they are using subpar materials to generate oxygen, which potentially may generate other type of gases, which is not good for you. And this is a long-term investment. When you buy it, you drink it, the pure oxygen actually gives you benefits. But if you're buying a cheaper product, which is subpar materials they're using, you do not know the long-term effects because you're drinking this every day, and the effects may manifest 1 year down the road, or could be 6 months, or could be 2 years down the road, right? Because of the other gases it's going to be released. Okay. So we self-generate the oxygen. We are long-lasting, we are stable. The key thing is stable. Okay. I have someone who said, hey, I've got a product here. I said, and they produce oxygen. Last week, I just saw a product. That product has been in a country for the last 16 years. And they use oxygen gas to generate the oxygen water. And when I drank it, right, immediately my face turned red. And I felt a pressure in my head. And then the guy says, hey, see, it's good, it's working. There's blood circulation on your face. It doesn't mean that when you drink, you have such reaction, it is good for you. Ours is natural. It gets absorbed into your bloodstream. You can measure blood oxygenation. For that, I feel the pressure going up to my head, right? And it's high gas, oxygen gas, and I drink it. It drives the pressure to my head and my face begin to flush. And he says, that is good. That shows that oxygen is going. I say, no, the oxygen has to come from blood oxygen meter, not the reaction. This is your body telling you it's no good for you, right? So currently, the only solution out there with people have been trying to do, they've been using oxygen gas like soda stream to pump into the water and immediately you drink it. And that one is very unstable. It's very high concentration, but it's unstable. When you drink it, it may cause reaction in your body, right? And why I say Oxytap is unique is because we are able to concentrate different shots. Because we are controlling, we are producing the oxygen, we are releasing it by the 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. We are able to manage the supplementation dosage. Unlike if it's high pressure, I push it, I pump in high concentration, immediately I drink it. It may not be able to get the same benefits we do. Because our technology not only generates oxygen, it makes the oxygen into nano-sized particle. So the other product which I mentioned, after pumping, they took out and said, see, many bubbles, you can have many bubbles inside here. It's good. Ours nano-size, you cannot see the bubbles. You can only measure it. You cannot see the bubbles. If you're able to see the bubbles, is in a size which is not fully absorbed in your bloodstream. Okay, because it's big that you can visually see it. If you really want to study nanobubbles, you need laser to actually go and do the counting of the bubbles. Right? So that is the uniqueness of our product. Many times, I don't have enough time to share this in a big, large-scale presentation. So sometimes, now what I do is like the last trip I was in Thailand, under the impact, I do a general 1 hour sharing. And then the second day, the key leaders would come for a closed door and we share more on the technology, on the health aspect, like what I'm actually trying to do now, right? So you actually are able to know in depth that our product is not so straightforward. It has many benefits, which many people don't understand and they write it off. Because if you have a good product, you need to be able to have its benefits. Okay. We do not alter the structure of the water. We preserve the water. So for example, Kangen, alkaline water, they actually change the structure of the water, right? We don't. Whatever you do, you want to make it alkaline, we oxygenate it. So we don't compete with Kangen. We complement. So those people who have friends selling Kangen or you are selling Kangen, this is a complementary to your existing downline or your whatever organization you belong to, right? So we don't compete with filtration system. We complement them. We actually can put filter and create a water filter out of this, but we feel as a strategy, we should not do that because then we compete with the rest of the cuckoo and we want to complement. Because the cuckoo, the cold way of the day, they already have many customers, so we cannot be seen as competitor. We should go in to say we complement you, we don't fight with you. You know, you already have your customer base. Now sell this product into your customer base. So we are able to create real world results. So like I mentioned, I think many of you have seen this video also. This lady is about 86% blood oxygenation.
I think it's just
Right. 86. After drinking Oxytap, the SpO2
one day you're suffering all the pain in the body. Your body lack of oxygen. The tissue, hypoxia, lactic acid.
Now, our body is made about 75%.
95. From 86 to 95, 9% increase in that few minutes, right? Which other product can do this in the world? And the trick here, many people say, hey, I don't see the effect. You should pump more. Okay, you pump more in do 3 shots and then do this. Don't do 1 shot because 1 shot is refreshing it. You may not see the jump so dramatic. So when we do exhibition, we normally do 3 shots and above, and we let them have a small shot of oxygen supplement like this. Then the effect can be seen. Many of you just do like maybe 1 shot and then do, hey, no effect. Eh? You see ours, later I'll show you. Like even this is in the Vivo City shopping center, old lady, right? 94% because she's old, drink, go up to 99. And this one, she only drink little shot only, a small little shot of water only. Because we increase the concentration. So when you drink, immediately you can feel the result. Right? So many of you, when you want to show, right, you need to actually pump 3 times and above because you're concentrating it. We want it to enter the system fast. So this lady, I think many of you have seen, her right leg, due to COVID for 3 years, she lost the use of her right leg, no strength. Then my customer asked her to come and visit me, and I let her drink Oxytap and I helped her. Within 15 minutes, for 2 years, her right leg, no feeling. After 15 minutes, she could walk. And these are events we go to in Berlin, and we help people relieve pain. So like I told you, pain relief is when we drink Oxytap, it brings down the inflammation. So many of you who are selling eye TheraCare, this is a very good complementary to eye TheraCare because high oxygen brings down inflammation, right? So we do this even without iTeracare. We are only using Oxytap, and they are already saying, yeah, it feels lighter. This lady, 8 years, got back problem. Now it's so relieved. This guy also on the right. And we are so confident in our product, right? We are going into international stage. You try bringing any of your other MLM product to go to this event. You think the organizers will let you go? So what I'm telling you is Oxytap is a proven product. People are able to accept it. International companies are willing to accept this. So this is in IFA. IFA in Berlin is one of the largest consumer show in Europe. Okay, this is in a shopping center in Singapore. This uncle, close to 90 years old, he has high blood pressure. After drinking Oxytap, the first time he could stand up, first time in his life without dizziness. Continued to drink after 1 week. He went for his monthly checkup. The doctor took him off high blood medication. So he was so excited, he come and thank me. And he even brought his younger sister, 80 years old, to come and buy the machine from me. So that a lot of times you need to give good service. You need to show people it works. People will be very indebted to you because you help them. Just imagine they've been taking medication all their life. Suddenly you don't need to take medication. Wow, they will definitely, or pain they've been suffering for years. Suddenly you help them remove their pain. Wow, they will come and bring their whole family come and buy from you. I've one incident over there. We helped solve a man's hands problem, and then letting them try high dosage of Oxytap. Immediately, that same family who came to our booth, right? I think about 5 or 6 of them bought 3 machines, each one for their own home. So the key thing is not money. The key thing is, are you able to solve their problem? Can they see the result? This is in CES 2024. We represent Singapore in the pavilion. You try taking any MLM product and put it out there. No, there's no MLM product. What we are telling you is Oxytap is a legitimate product which works. It so happened we are partnering with an MLM company to sell. So you have the exclusivity to take a real world product to sell into your markets, into your customers, into corporates, right? So this is a longevity, the expert in longevity.
I never met before. They're saying it's oxygen water. I'm skeptical. I just took a small shot, just this much.
See, that's just how much you drink.
A bubble that went into my chest. So probably that's the oxygenation going to the body. I can actually feel it. And now she's going to do a test to see if we can change my oxygen levels from 96 and my heart rate is 83. So we'll see if there's any change.
So you use regular oximeter. The trick is to increase high oxygen in the water you give them.
At 96 and 83, so 96 oxygen and 83 heart rate, because I'm at a show.
So you see, it's gone to 98, from 96 to 98, 2% in that 10 seconds of drinking, right? And this, you cannot fake it one. This is live. They record it live and they show this, right? So this is also, yeah.
So there are no supplements on the market right now to be able to improve your blood oxygen level. But this product right here, the Oxytap, allows you to do that in 10 seconds through drinking water. So this is got extra oxygen in there. I'm going to drink it right now. I did a test before.
So you notice
of my
how
blood
much
oxygen.
You notice how much volume of oxygen of Oxytap water is in there, right? It's not the amount of water, it's the amount of concentration Oxytap can put in the water, which gives him that benefit.
Level, and it was at a 97. All right, I've taken the shot, and I have with me here Wilson Tan, who's the CEO and the founder of Oxytap. And tell us a little bit about where this idea came from as we're waiting for my effects to kick in.
So basically, I was in the water industry for more than 10 years. And I've discovered that oxygen is depleted as you do water filtration or even boiling water. So there's no solution today to restore high oxygen in water. And what we do is we're the world's first oxygen infusion system, which as a supplement, it increases blood oxygen. So today, in today's climate, like COVID and elderly, your oxygen drops rapidly. So what we do in 10 seconds, you drink this, your oxygen level will go up very fast.
Okay, so let's test my oxygen level now. Can you help me with this? And let's see. Oh, middle finger. Okay. All right. So here we're checking. And this is, I mean, you saw how long it was that I actually, how long ago I took it. I went from 97 to 99 right there. And, you know, my level, as they told me, anything above 96 is pretty good, but already just in that short amount of time, it worked. So, hey, your demo worked. Congratulations.
So you notice that just a small shot does that increase, right? So when you do any trials or roadshow, you need to increase oxygenation in your body. Okay. Okay, this is what we have done in Israel to trial. So when you say you want data, some of you say I want data, right? These are things we have tested ourselves. This is my partner in Israel. We put a tissue oxygen meter, 4 probes, one on the heart, one on left hand, right hand, and one on the left leg. So if doctors want data, this is the data we have done. Okay. It measures, because SpO2 can measure very basics. Because some people say, I'm already 97, I drink, it goes up to 98. 1%, no big deal to me. But the real thing is in the tissue. Is the blood oxygen in your blood, or oxygen in your blood entering your tissue? And that is key. Because if your tissue cannot absorb the oxygen, healing would not take place also. Right? So that's where oxygenation entering your tissue oxygenation meter, it's very key. But of course, you can't buy this. Is like 10,000 euros, right, for this machine. So we worked with a hyperbaric chamber hospital. You see this first column basically is the one on the heart. This side here, the first row, no water, 10 minutes, just breathe. We take that reading. Then after that, drink regular water for 10 minutes. Then we take a reading. Then after that, drink another regular for 10 minutes. Okay. You can see a slight that there is no increase. In fact, it decreased. And then we started increasing Oxytap water to drink 10 minutes, and then finally the rest of the water. The heart area went up 48.1% of oxygenation. It registers the tissue absorbing 48.1% of the oxygenation. If you notice this column, right, is SpO2 column. So this guy, my friend there, is already pretty healthy. It's 98% SpO2. But you know, from 98, the max you can go is 100, right? So it went up. When you drink, it went up to 99, and it went up to 100, and it stayed 100 for a while. So to us, to a layman, it's not really that dramatic. But to reach 100%, how many of you can reach 100%? Right? Not many of you can reach 100% without additional supplement, right? But here in the heart area, it went up 48.1%, while your SpO2 only registered maybe 2%, which is the max. And we can't tell, that's it. But to fully appreciate, you got to see the other meters. So the second column basically is your left hand. The left hand went up 18%. The right hand went up 22%. And the left feet, which is furthest from the heart, the blood brought the oxygen right down to the feet. It went up 10.9%. And that would make a difference between whether a diabetic foot ulcer is going to be amputated, whether the diabetic foot ulcer can be healed, or the wound can close up. Because now the tissue oxygenation is going down into your feet. So these are data you can actually see. So we also have this thing called Freestyle Liber. Today, a lot of biohackers or health enthusiasts are using this to monitor blood sugar, right? And like I mentioned, this guy is 70 years old. Because he's old, he's controlling his diet and eating minimum supporting medication, right? Even then, his blood sugar is high. We introduced Oxytap, it immediately dropped 10% blood sugar. For the period he's drinking, averagely 10 to 11% blood sugar drop. When we took away Oxytap, his blood sugar went up again. Okay. And you all know this, this is done in my previous company, Monash. we tested in Monash University, oxygen water and cancer cells. Prostate cancer, 9 days drink oxygen water. This one, prostate cancer, drink tap water, and you notice the mice which drink tap water, the cancer growth. The one drinking oxygen water, the growth is not that high. But this water we tested is based on my previous company I used to work for. Oxytap is at least 400 times more oxygen than this. So our effects would be even better than this. All right. So tumor growth in mice, hypoxia signal. That means the right side water is very active. The one with oxygen water is not so active. Okay, sports I will rush through because not many of you are focused on sports. It actually helps prevent lactic acid. So sports recovery and all that is very good. Your stamina improves, right? You don't feel cramped, don't feel less pain and all that stuff. Okay. So this is basically we are saying we tested one group of mice or rats drink oxygen water on the left. The right side drink only tap water. After 7 days, we take away all their blood. Because blood brings oxygen. And if you don't have enough oxygen in your body, lactic acid will be produced. But the very fact that they drank oxygen water, the muscle is able to still take that consumed oxygen in their system and produces lesser lactic acid. And this actually shows it. The right side is oxygen water, less lactic acid produced. Left side is water, more lactic acid produced. So it shows and proof with mice that if you drink high oxygen water, lesser lactic acid will be produced if you're running at a high intensity. Okay, and so sports, stamina, MMA sports, Muay Thai, whatever, it's very good for the football, it's very good for your stamina. So what we are saying here, today, we have a blue ocean market. It's not like if today you're selling a product, right? You have so many other competition. The price would change. Some even look the same, sell it at cheaper price. And you say, oh, they all got no testimonial. But you go and look out at their site, they also got testimonial, right? So it's very hard. Only Oxytap, we are in a blue ocean market. Why? Let me share with you. This is a Kangen water machine market. In 2023, right, there are 2.5 billion, Kangen is only one part of a water filtration system, and this is their market, 2.23 year, 2023, they have 2.5 billion worldwide. By 2030, they're going to reach 4.5 billion US dollar. If we don't compete with them and we complement them, just 1%, you know what sales you guys will be multi-millionaire. Don't talk about Kangen. In Malaysia, Kuku and Kowe, you just partner with them. You compete because we don't want to compete with them. We say, okay, you got a filtration system. Now just add this. It's going to make a very perfect partnership. It's going to be big, right? So if you know people who are selling water filtration, who are in Kangen network marketing, you can always work with them. This is the global water purification market. At 2023, it's a 43 billion US market. By the time we reach 2032, it's going to be 83 billion. So this market is still growing. Everyone knows there's a need for filtration, better quality water. But we are the only solution, which I showed you earlier. We are able to increase oxygenation because the whole world, this 43 to 83 billion, they are producing machine which is reducing oxygen we drink. If you are able to take 1% of this market and there's currently no competition because there's no technology which increases oxygen and complements them, you can take this market. That's why we don't want to create a water filter machine with oxygen to compete with them. We don't want to compete with them. We want to complement them. So you need to think strategically that you can partner with people like this. We are not coming head on to fight with them, but we want to complement. So it's a blue ocean market. Nobody is touching this space. So this is all the potential area, So when you hangover, when you drink any alcohol, acetaldehyde is produced in your blood. Only oxygen can remove this from your blood. So it's very good for hangover. People who they sell drinks. They want people to buy more drinks without getting drunk. Drink Oxytap. Sports, like I mentioned, it removes lactic acid. Sports recovery, endurance. School officers, gaming resorts, it improves your concentration, alertness, study better. Beauty, cellular regeneration, longevity clinics, stem cell clinics. Oxygen is key, or else their product will not be as effective. So beautiful skin, acceleration, weight loss, pain, and diseases, right? So we are also certified in different ways. We have food safety certification, CE, is registered in the Europe. We have low voltage safety, electrical safety cert. Our product has, hazardous substance safety certification as well. Okay, we basically come to the end of the presentation. I basically breezed through, and if you have any questions, maybe we can take some of the questions now. Let me just stop share. Hope it's useful. And
Yes,
the whole idea is to let you be comfortable with Oxytap and sell more.
Okay, right. So thank you very much, Wilson. Today I got a refresher. So much of in-depth information about oxygen in general and how Oxytap could be the solution for all these problems that we're seeing, and also how to enhance health and performance in areas that you mentioned. So really appreciate the timely session so that we can add on this trilogy into our products of price. So there are some questions in the chat already. Let me just pick it up and read it out. Okay. The first question came by Mark Joseph. He's asking, is the ppm the same in processing a 350 ml water as compared to processing a 1 liter or more water?
We would recommend if you have anything above 1 liter to press an additional shot for that amount, right? So anything 1 liter and below, the same formulation should work, plus minus. But if anything above 1 liter, you should add one more shot to it.
Okay, so it means whether it's a 350 or 1 liter, one shot will still give you that amount of ppm that you mentioned. All right. The next question is, Tess Harvest said that she actually thought that you need to see those big bubbles when you oxygenate to see there's enough oxygen in the water.
No, so I mean there are bubbles coming out, like that one you definitely will see it. But the real magic is done in the system. It's not when you see bubble touch the water, you will be oxygenated. The real magic is done in the system where we actually infuse the oxygen and the water together. So when it comes out, it's already infused. So when after oxygenation, you will still see small bubbles coming out, right? But it's the real small one you cannot see with your naked eye. And that is our technology where it actually brings it down to nano size. So nano size you cannot see unless you shoot a laser and you can count the bubbles using laser. It lights up, the laser lights up the nano bubbles. But our naked eye will not be able to see those bubbles.
Okay, so I also was thinking, if you see bubbles at the side of the walls of your bottle, means there's a lot of oxygen in there.
Yeah. This would happen if after you oxygenate and you keep it, the next day, those small bubbles will form the bigger bubbles at the side of the wall. Yeah.
Right. So I think the whole big point is that it's nano size,
Yeah.
and because of that, it can be absorbed through your mucous membranes.
Yes.
So that's why you don't have to swallow immediately. You can take your time to let the oxygen absorb through your mouth and through all these linings and esophagus. That's a very good point to note. Okay. The next question is by Pearl. How do we maintain the Oxytap?
Okay, they basically, right, you do not need to send in until you have until the machine don't produce any bubbles. Generally, in the past, right, we tell people, okay, 10,000 shots, generally you send it in, right? But I feel that you should send in only when the machine totally don't produce any oxygen. Then that could be a longer period of usage, right? Because sometimes when I say 10,000, then some more people say, the maintenance is going to be so high and all that. So to me, key thing is as long as the machine is functioning, use it. Because the machine has built-in sensors. Whenever there's a leakage, it will stop the whole machine. Not like the previous version, right? 10,000 you send in. Now the newer machines, right? When you use it, if there's any leakage, the whole machine will just blink. It will not allow you to carry on because there's a leakage and you need to send in for it to be serviced. And that is equivalent to your regular servicing, right? Because they will also change the pump, they will also change stuff in there. And
When you
that
talk
could
about this
last
newer, yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
between 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay. So the Oxytap that's now being distributed by Pride, they are the newer
The
machines?
newer version, they are
The
Model 5.
newer.
Yeah, these are
Oh,
all newer
okay.
versions.
All
The one
right.
I mentioned are our Model 4 and older.
Oh, okay. Okay. There's another question here that says, May was just mentioning 86% blood oxygen level is very low and requires medical emergency.
Yeah. But many
Yeah.
of us don't realize that, unless you always measure, if you make it a point to measure, morning you wake up, you measure. Some people, right, they have high blood pressure, they make it a point to measure their blood, their so-called blood pressure, but they never measure their blood oxygen, right? But blood oxygen should be a regular maintenance. You need to know that you're actually having low blood oxygenation and you need a supplement to do that. Some people who don't want to buy, you may ask them to just monitor first lah. If you think your blood oxygen is low, then I think you should go get help. You need to have an Oxytap in your house. If you don't believe and these people at 86%, 87, even 90%, they already know they have health issues already. But that oximeter will actually, an oximeter is very cheap, but the oximeter will be the one which will confirm to tell them, hey, you really need to have something to help you.
Exactly. So that's a good point. You can get the oximeter and test it before you sleep and first thing when you wake up. Like you mentioned, our oxygen levels drop when we actually sleep, right? So next question will be by me. How do you address skeptics who say that oxygen cannot be effectively absorbed through the stomach or digestive tract?
So that's why we show you the oximeter, right? Oximeter, we use meter to prove. We don't talk only, right? You say terahertz. Can terahertz enter? How do you know? Is there a meter? Oxytap, we have a meter, and that's oximeter. You can measure it, right? And you can be a skeptic. You go drink water, drink water, you drink Oxytap, and then you measure the difference. Whether your oxygen increase or not if you drink regular water. And then hours in 10 seconds you drink, you can measure it goes up. So how to be a skeptic, when you have real life proof. If you don't have proof, you don't have a meter to measure, then it's a different thing, right? You don't have a meter to measure, then you can be a skeptic all you want because you cannot prove it. But we can prove to you. Like today, if I tell you the water you drink is very low oxygen, no, I'm skeptic. I take a dissolved oxygen meter, I measure there. I measure tap water, I measure filtered water. I have meters to prove to you that the oxygen level you're drinking is low. I have meters to test it that after drinking Oxytap, your blood oxygen goes up. So that would disapprove your skepticism, so to speak.
Okay. So something good is that when you can measure the results. Now, next question is by Sally. Sally Co says, how long will the machine last? What parts need to be changed after 10,000 shots? Isn't that the projected lifespan of the machine?
So we in the past, we normally tell people do at 10,000 shots to send in because some people think it's like a car, right? You want to drive and then we want to be told what to do. Singaporeans very good for that. You need to tell me exactly this one goes how many months before I need to service. But if it's functioning well and we have sensors built in, that in case it breaks down, you send in for servicing, then it's a usage thing already. Because if you have a family of 3 and a family of 10, your usage is very different. So if we say 10,000 shots, and currently there's no measurement to measure 10,000 shots, it's an estimate, right? So a better way is to say when it breaks down or it stops producing enough oxygen, or you see the oxygen drops to very small level, that is where you should send in for servicing. And that normally should be more than 1.5 to 2 years. I have customers who send in after 2 years. I have customers who send in until it's completely not functioning, and it's after 3 years they send in, right? And we still service them because it's about because we will change the pump anyway. And right now with the built-in, this new model with the built-in sensors, the leak will stop the machine from operating, which means it will not damage the other parts. The older machine, right, when there's a leak, right, it damages other parts. So the repair is very costly. But now when there's a leak, right, we just change the pump. And that pump we also change when we do regular servicing at 10,000 shots. So the key thing is that send in when the machine stops working or it just blinks without functioning. And that generally would last about 1.5 years to 2 years of regular use.
Okay. The next question by Marcel Gonzalez, is there a limit in the number of infusion per day?
Okay. So generally, we do it like this, because all of us are made differently. My general advice is that you're drinking regular water 1 shot. That's why you refresh it. You refresh water, you drink that water every day. Refresh mode. 1 shot. 2 shots if you're feeling very lethargic that day. Because the very fact that you're lethargic, your oxygen level is low. So 2 shots is okay, safe. 3 shots if you are suffering from hypoxic-related chronic sicknesses and diseases, things like any related disease. Anytime you have a disease or you think that you are flu, you have something coming on, do 3 shots and drink that. And you can drink that. If you're suffering from a condition, drink 3 shots throughout the day, right? Of course, some customers do 5 shots, 6 shots. It doesn't matter, right? They will not get oxygen toxicity. Okay, but to some people who are very susceptible, especially when they first start drinking, we normally tell them to drink 1 shot first, right? And see how it feels.
Okay, so there is like a potential healing crisis also for people drinking oxygen water.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is by Sally. What model do we get if we buy now? Can we safely assure client that Oxytap has 0 adverse effect?
So we are getting like I told you, the Model 5. This is the latest price been selling since last year. So can we safely assure customer that it has 0 effect? I mean, it's water, right? Water with high oxygenation. Like I said, a single shot, right? It's what mountain quality is, right? So if basically the refresh mode brings it to an oxygen level which is slightly higher than the freshest mountain water you can ever drink. If drinking the freshest mountain water will give you adverse effect, then I think you better don't drink water, because it's the whole idea is that we have a fresh source now. We are able to take all your filtered water and we increase high oxygen. And if the concern is you may get too high in oxygen, then follow my recommendation, do 1 shot to refresh. And you're very tired that day, you do double shot. And you are not tired, go back to single shot. Because single shot is the safest. You will not have any adverse effect.
Okay. May is commenting. She does I understand, does a SpO2 daily. Mine usually 94 to 96 because of my heart issue. If below 92, I'm in ER already. Yes, of course. Yeah. So next question by Mark Joseph. We are informed that the Oxytap machine goes into cleaning mode of 8 minutes the first time it's turned on. But what does it mean if the Oxytap machine goes into cleaning mode every time the machine is not used for a few hours? Oh, really?
Actually, no, every time you turn on the machine, right, it runs for 8 minutes. Okay, the first time, cleaning mode is the first time you take out from the box. because you do not know how long it's been stored, how's the condition of the shipping. The first time you take out from the box, you turn on that first 8 minutes, the water, flush it out, throw it away, don't drink that. Subsequently, when you turn on the machine, you can drink that water. It's clean because you're using it, right? That's the misconception a lot of times, and I still get this sometimes from US and Europe. They say every time I turn on the 8 minutes, the water I throw away. I say, no, you don't need. You only need it the first time when you take out from the box. Or you don't use the machine for like a few weeks or months. Then you after traveling, you come back, you use. And I would recommend you the 2 plastic bottles, right? We give you, it's meant for servicing as well as acting as a cover. That means screw it in when you are not in use and you're traveling, and you want to cover up to prevent any insects or dirt from accumulating. You lock it up, right? It's not meant for long-term use. It's a recyclable PET bottle. Because some people say, hey, why you use recyclable PET bottle? I said this is meant for servicing, because if I use any higher quality plastics, you cannot press it. You cannot squeeze it, right? So for servicing purposes. So it's meant for servicing purposes as well as acting as a cover. I would recommend you to get glass bottles, and we are in the process of creating our own Oxytap glass bottles for sale also. So get glass bottles to oxygenate the water and use those. And by
So
the
I
way,
believe,
the bottles are Europe is very good at using dishwashing machine. Our plastic bottles are not dishwashing safe. After they go through the dish, all become a small little cup. So you shouldn't do that, right? You should know what plastic, But for them, some of the Europeans, they everything throw inside the dishwashing and say we never inform you. I mean, okay, so common sense are not common sense for everyone, I think.
okay, so I think what it means is like every time when we switch on the machine, it's 8 minutes.
Mm.
Then if you don't use it or you leave the switch on and you do again, it'll be 3 minutes. But let's say at the end of the day, at night you switch it off.
Mm.
The next morning when you on again, it'll be 8 minutes. So
Yeah.
as long as you don't switch off that switch, it'll be continuing to do 3 minutes.
Yes.
But if you choose to switch off that machine at the end of the day, then it'll be 8 minutes when you start it on again the next time. Correct?
So some clients, they also like to drink 3 shots. So they turn off and turn on 1 shot.
Okay.
It's equivalent to 3 shots.
Okay, that's
Mm.
great. Okay, another question. Do we recommend drinking oxygenated water entirely, or once a day is good enough?
Frankly speaking, my whole family drinks Oxytap water. All our water goes to the machine. We oxygenate it and we put into glass bottles like this, right? And we drink it throughout the day. We have our own. Actually, I have. We're actually coming out with glass bottles like this. I don't think you can see them.
Okay,
So these
that's
are
nice.
some of the products we are coming out with. Currently we are testing some of this. So right, this is for male, this is for female. Yeah. So this type you can actually just bring to the gym, it's a glass.
Tess here has a comment. She said she purchased glass bottle online, but it won't screw up into the Oxytap. Does it mean that it has to be screwed up to oxygenate? It doesn't have to, right?
No, so the whole idea, yeah. So basically, the nozzle, right? The nozzle has 2 holes here. Okay, there's 2 holes, intake holes. As long as your water level is 1 inch or 1.5 inch, you just need to dip it in. You don't even need to screw in. You just need to dip it in, right? Just dip in. But of course, the water level needs to be high, okay? But what we do also, we have some of this carafe, and as long as we are dipping in, the oxygen. You don't need to screw in. It's not vacuum one. It's as long as you need to suck and eject out in the same container, you can use it. So it's a wrong perception that it needs to be screwed in. You don't need to.
Okay. The next question is, I think regarding this plastic bottle, what servicing should we be doing using this Oxytap plastic bottle?
So this generally, the servicing is basically when sometimes during shipment, they ship to you and the weather condition or the pressure, and this normally happens the first time when you receive it, right? It may cause the pump to be dry or stuck. And generally, this bottle is for you to squeeze water into the system so it can activate the pump. Okay, but that generally would happen during shipment. If they ship to you a machine and it's dry, the pump is dry, it would happen. But that area we have sorted it out with the service center, which says all machine has to be tested before shipping out to make sure it's running. So you will not need to do that type of servicing. Yeah, so this is just in case lah, it's dried up and then you want to pump water back into the system.
Okay. What's the next question? How many liters of water is optimum for one shot?
I think anything below 1 liter is fine, but yeah. So actually oxygenation like I show you, right? That simple shot we do in our exhibition, right, already shows there's an increase. So it's not how much water, it's the concentration of the oxygen in that cup, right? We are able to squeeze in a lot of oxygen in that cup is even more effective, not the volume, right? So it depends what you're thinking. If you're talking about hydration, right, then everyone adult should drink at least 2 liters, of water a day, 2 to 3 liters of water a day, depending on size, right? That is hydration. Oxygenation is how much you concentrate in the water and you drink. Like we showed you, even a small shot like that increases your blood oxygen. So this thing comes to people who are undergoing dialysis. Dialysis, your kidney already failed. So the doctor, like whole day, maybe they only drink, 100 ml, and they have to space out that 100 ml over a period of time. So in those type of cases, you can do high oxygenation in the water for them to do simple shots. And that is very effective already. So when you talk about optimum, right? Optimum liters of water is optimum for single shot, depending what you want. You want hydration, 1 liter and below, like I mentioned, is good enough for hydration to make the water taste better. It refreshes the water. But if you want more oxygen in your blood, if you're tired, then you do 2 shots. If you are having those sicknesses and diseases, you do 3 shots.
Okay. So Tess is just saying she's thinking it needs to be screwed on so oxygen does not dissipate when infusing. Okay. So it goes into the water. It doesn't really go out
Yeah,
that
so
fast.
the key thing is getting the water dissolved. So it's dissolved oxygenation. That's why I talk about dissolved oxygenation. We dissolve the oxygen. So you see right now, right, you don't see bubbles, right? You don't see bubbles, but this has been infused already. Oxytap is already infused. You don't see bubbles here, but if you measure it, you will know the bubbles. So the key thing is dissolve oxygen. If the dissolved oxygen comes out here, it's no more effective already. So you may cap it, if the oxygen from dissolved form, it comes out here, it's no more effective. That's why for those who are selling, in future, you will hear this because we restarted the oxygen market business, right? You will have competitors who come, oh, we also do oxygen water, but all of them, they use gas. They pump it into the water. You'll see bubbles, but the more you pump it in, it will come out very fast. So you cannot bring this out the whole day and sip from it to get the effect. Only ours, which is nano-sized bubbles, is small. You drink it, has its impact and effect in the body. Okay. Those with high pressure, it's like Pepsi, you put high pressure carbon dioxide, you put on the table, you open it, within 5-10 minutes, it's flat. That's the same effect. So if those high pressured one, they pump in future oxygen gas, they ask you to drink it, you feel your face suddenly turn red, there's a flush, you feel headache and all this. This is not natural. Ours is you won't get that when you drink Oxytap.
Okay. So any more questions from the floor? You can still type in. Study is asking, can we use charged water? Yes.
Yeah, so you can charge the water first before oxygenation, right? But for Oxytap, right, we recommend you to use filtered or bottled water. If you want to add anything to the water, do it after the oxygenation. Don't add anything before. Right? Even if you want to do your Seven Wonder, you should do it after. Don't do it before, because Seven Wonder has minerals which we don't want that also. So if you're using distilled water for oxygenation, you're using filtered water, you're using bottled water, it's fine. Before you want to charge that before you oxygenate, is good. It's fine. But after or before you oxygenate, you want to put any other nutrients, additive, and all those stuff, don't do that, you know. And I would also recommend you not to take any other stuff, okay, which is so-called oxygen related. Give you an example. How should I say? Okay, cell food. Okay, cell food has been around for many years. Okay, but you take cell food on its own, you measure your blood oxygen, it will not go. You'll not grow up, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for the purpose of oxygenation. So don't combine cell food and Oxytap. It may have a reverse effect. Take Oxytap for the oxygen increase, right? If you think cell food helps, do it after you take Oxytap. Don't take it together. Drip after you oxygenate Oxytap, then you go and put cell food, drip, and then you drink. Don't do that. It may neutralize its effect. Because I've heard from some clients, hey, after I drink Oxytap, and then I put cell food, I got no effect. I say, don't mix it. You know, you should do it separately, right? I do not know the dynamics of cell food. If you know it's good for you, you do it after. But I know Oxytap increases oxygenation. It improves energy level. Drink it, you can see the effect immediately. But if you add the other stuff in it, right, then it may have a nullifying effect to, you know, the stuff you are taking.
So it means don't mix cell food in oxygen water, or as May says, I use cell food only with charged water, not with hydrogen or oxygen water. Yes. So you can take it like after taking the water. After how long like that, Wilson?
When you take it, right, when you take Oxytap, right, you literally have the effect within 10 to 15 seconds. But I would recommend maybe half an hour to an hour, then you can take other stuff. But supplements is fine. Supplements, as long as it's not talking about increasing oxygen, because sometimes there's a counter effect because the pathway they use is very different, right? Ours is a going through your cell, absorbing and all that. We do not know what it does to your cell to increase that oxygenation. We do not know that pathway they use. For us, we know the cells absorb it. It is a very natural, because we use oxygen, we don't use any other vitamins, supplement, electrolytes, or what to artificially increase that. Ours is very natural. We increase nano-sized oxygen molecules. And that's a very natural way of entering your bloodstream. We don't use any other minerals or supplements to artificially create that effect. So I would recommend half an hour to an hour after you take Oxytap, then you take the other supplements. However, if you're taking the other natural supplements, vitamin C, multivites, all those is fine, as long as it's not related to artificially increasing oxygenation in your bloodstream or whatever.
How about medications? Can they take medications with
No
Oxytap?
problem. No
Can.
problem. Yeah, because we are not alkaline. This issue is for alkaline water per se, because all those medication are time release. So when you take alkaline water, it actually dissolves it faster.
But some of them use alkaline water and oxygenize it.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
But they would Okay, so if you are taking alkaline water and you're not taking the medication, after you oxygenate it, you should not be taking that also, right? Because it's the alkalinity. We will not change the alkalinity. The pH level will still be as the alkaline water per se.
So you were talking about don't add on other things after filter, but can we use like mineral water to
No, mineral water is
deposit it?
fine. Mineral water is fine.
Okay.
Mineral water, okay, there are some stuff okay, this is my personal things, my personal experiment because I test many products. There is a product which is high silica. High silica in water. Okay. I've experimented with that product for many years. High silica water. My advice is don't take too much because it may give you kidney stone. If you are not drinking enough water to neutralize it, the high silica water may give you kidney stones. Okay, because silica is actually, the real silica, they actually take from it's like a crystal. They actually I worked with very high-end Japanese silica providers previously, and I tested their product. I even have some of the products. It's very expensive. And I take it, and it gave me kidney stones. I've been taking it, and it's like, wow. So I normally, unless you drink enough water to flush it out your system, or else it's very so mineral water generally the minerals are not so high. Just imagine you buy mineral water, it's just full of mineral water, right? Full of minerals. You add silica or any additives which has more minerals to it. Our body cannot take too much minerals. It will calcify, right? There is a limit to what we can take. And if you're taking it and not flushing out from your body, it's going to accumulate. Gallstone, kidney stones, those are things we want to prevent. Even for some fruits, don't talk about people say, you take beetroot juice brings down blood pressure. Wow, that time every day, night, day, I take beetroot. Also come out kidney stone because it has calcite, which produces kidney stone. So if you are prone to having kidney stones, you also have to watch your diet, what we are eating. Because even tea, you take a lot of tea also provides calcifies those stones. So just imagine you add more minerals to your drink. I would not recommend it. I mean, that is my view. Don't quote me on it because I've gone through. I don't want you to suffer kidney stones. And it's one of the worst thing that can ever happen.
There's one last question here that says, can we drink oxygenated water and hydrogen water at the same time?
At the same time as what? Mixed together or what? What do you mean?
I'm not sure. Bob, maybe interchangeably or so. Like morning, I drink hydrogen water. In between, I drink Oxytap water.
I think hydrogen water by itself has no okay, so the Japanese came out with hydrogen water. There are a lot of research. By the way, the marketing material also from Japan in the past. So after that, people take that and China took it and mass produced it, right? So in the history, even the Japanese and the marketing company are very united in their pushing of hydrogen water. But like I said, naturally, 65% of our body needs oxygen. 9% is made up of hydrogen. There's no harm in taking hydrogen water. There's no harm. But you have to understand the process, how they make hydrogen water, okay? So, for example, you buy those bottled hydrogen water. You turn on, you press the button, right? Many of you have those bottled hydrogen flasks, right? You press it, right? The bubbles come out. Actually, you take a dissolved oxygen meter, you put in, you can see very high oxygen coming out from that bottle. People say, oh, see, I also got high oxygen. Actually, it's not true. It is breaking H2O into hydrogen and oxygen. It's creating a very unstable form of gases. And you're immediately taking that gas and you're drinking it. It's entering your body, but it's not stable. Ours is stabilized oxygen. That's why it stays in the water, that when you drink, it gets in your bloodstream. When you take a hydrogen flask, I have also, I have hydrogen. I mean, I play many products. The hydrogen you press, right? The gas and oxygen and hydrogen would mix together. And you take that and you drink. It's not very stable. It's unstabilized hydrogen and unstabilized oxygen, which is not good for you. Ours is stabilized. Okay. So there's no harm drinking hydrogen water. But I would not recommend you to mix hydrogen and oxygen together. Because hydrogen and oxygen is actually rocket fuel, if you know, so it's not stable. So you want to drink pure oxygen and stabilized oxygen. Hydrogen water, I do not know how stabilized it is, because hydrogen gas, molecules is smaller than oxygen, which means it moves or leaves the water faster. When you you hydrogenate it, right, you need to drink immediately to get its effect, or so-called effect. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
there's
think
no
that's
harm, but I'm just saying don't drink together. You drink, if you have already hydrogen, you like the benefits of hydrogen, drink it not together with Oxytap. And to me, if you want to equate what hydrogen, or how to combine hydrogen and Oxytap, I would equate Oxytap as a supplement you can take any other time. Hydrogen, I will equate that as what you call, as an antibiotic, so to speak. It has very specific function to neutralize free radicals, right? So you can play around with these two. Oxygen, 65% of our body, hydrogen, 9%. We take specifically hydrogen for certain function, oxygen as a general supplement.
okay. So, wow, there's just so many questions. Okay, so we come to the end of our session with Wilson. Thank you very much, Wilson, for spending this Saturday with us. For me personally, it's much clearer. I have many questions answered, and I personally have owned my Oxytap for more than a year, but sometimes not so regular in using it. But after hearing you today, I will appreciate my machine better and will appreciate every sip of Oxytap that I take. Yeah, I want to share our promotion for this month. Maybe for some of us who are thinking of getting one after this session, or you would like to add on to your trilogy. So these are the three things that I believe most of us have iTerra Care. Many of us have also the BioLite and the Bio. And I think many of us here also have Oxytap, but some may not. So if you'd like to complete your trilogy today, this is the promotion that is happening right now, last 3 days from now, okay, which is Oxytap. Now it's a global promotion. Buy one, free one. You buy one Oxytap and you get one Oxytap free. Quite amazing, right? So you can put one at home, one in your office, or wherever it could be. The price is USD 5,200 or 23,000 ringgit 400, which means that per unit of Oxytap is only 11,700 ringgit. Okay, so this is happening until 31st of March. Please get back to your introducer or the person who's invited you tonight to find out more about this promotion. And besides that, of course, we also have the other promotions happening last 3 days as well. Those who want to get the Bio, it's a very good deal right now with a free Pro and a free Ion Shield. Those of you who may want to get the BioLite also, there's a free Classic, iTerra Classic, and a box of Premium Golden Clam, which is really good for your liver. And what else? Okay, for those who want to add on some more iTerra Care, or you have friends who want to buy it, the Premium Plus is happening, whereby you buy one Premium Plus, you get to purchase the second unit at an extra of 400 USD only, meaning half price for the second unit, which is very worthwhile. Malaysia is 3,600 ringgit per unit, and half price, which is 1,008 for the second unit. So you get net price about 2,700 ringgit for per unit of Premium Plus. And for those who still want to get the basic of Classic, which is really good, you may want to get a second unit or an extra unit to gift it to someone. We have the promotion of buy 3 iTerra Care Classics with a free extra 1 unit. Plus, if you get this promotion slide, there are also many other price items that's being on offer. So do grab it quickly before the 31st of March, yeah? So that's why I believe in this trilogy of wellness, whereby with technology, we are able to maintain our health, improve our health, enhance our health, and also get the ultimate wellness of health that we are seeking for, right? Through sunlight energy, our iTera Care, with better oxygenation. After we've heard today, indeed we need oxygen very much, the importance of it. So we have Oxytap there to support us, and with better grounding, proper grounding, we have BioLite and Bio to help us. So help ourselves, help our family, and do reach out and share with your friends for these amazing products to enhance our health. Yeah. So that's it for tonight. I'm sure we will have a part two with you, Wilson. Maybe after your trip from to Europe and all, you probably come back with more updates about developments in your field and what we can hope to expect from you as well in the advancement, right?
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to share just before we tune off?
Yeah, I think thank you for Leanne and all you guys listening in. I hope we can achieve my vision is to naturally heal 60% of the chronic sicknesses and diseases with oxygen supplementation. And I hope this would be a vision which is achievable by all of us. Yeah.
Okay. Your vision is also our mission. With definitely for me personally, I feel if there are ways that we can improve our health, in fact, improve the approach that we have for our diseases states, we can help a lot of people, especially our family members who are suffering, or there is something that we can do to help them, right? So thank you very much. Okay, the chats all say thank you, Wilson, for very clear answers. Thank you, Wilson, for informative session. Me is looking forward to the bottles. Yeah, beautiful bottles.
Let's
Yes,
go to
thank you.
Singapore to get that.
Uh, Si- Do you have it in Singapore?
No, no, we tell me what colors you guys like. You have a whole range of colors. So
I
can
got boys and girls, all students. They
Good.
usually bring it to school. That's
Yeah.
why. So this one is very good. I don't need to transfer it anymore.
Yep.
I
So
love that.
we have black, we have white. Yeah. So in future
That's
I'll
cool.
send you the updates.
That's cool.
Can we have a group photo if you can video yourself so we can remember today if Wilson is here? We can take a nice group photo. Okay. Oh, I see Jing Bakuli. Bakuli, am I pronouncing it
Should
correct?
have regular sessions at least every 2 weeks or once a month because no one is pitching already for Oxytap, Mr. Wilson. That's the thing. That's why we need to revive
Mm-hmm.
this product. Such a nice product also.
Exactly. So,
Thank you for arranging. So we look forward to hearing more updates. I
Yes.
think there's a lot of things because this trip I'm going to France, I'll be talking to some of the French biohackers, how they use oxygen to hack performance and all that. So it's very interesting. So we're gonna do a podcast with them, and also in future on the Oxytap site, we will put the podcast, and I'm inviting like top leaders in that space, how they work with oxygen. And it's more international rather than, it will be coming up from Oxytap, and I will bring in people who are nutritionists, how that interacts with oxygen, sports, performance enhancement. And we want to go to different angles. And if you have any suggestions, right, you can always, if you got key experts in your country who we can talk and share about oxygen and how it integrates for performance, right? We are going to
Yes.
cover that as well. Yeah.
Yes.
okay. Come, let's give your biggest smile. There are 2 pages to take. 1, 2, smile. Okay, wait, let me just save it first. Second. Okay, second page. Second page. Okay, 1, 2, smile. Okay, got third page. No, 2 pages. All right. So Thank you so much. Somebody is asking in the chat if you are able to give them the slides, is it, for today's session?
Okay, I will make it available. I'll pass it to Leanne. You get from Leanne. I'll send it.
Okay. Yilan.
Ilan.
Okay. All right. So please, you can, those from Philippines can reach out to May. I'll pass it to